Are you ready to be the boss? The trail boss. This is the 2019 Chevrolet, I hate saying Chevrolet, Chevy Silverado Trail Boss. What is the Trail Boss exactly? Well, Chevy is offering up a mid to lower grade trim of the Silverado and then sprucing that up into an off-road ready truck. It's a good idea. Rather than starting at the high end with like a high country or an LTZ or something crazy, they're starting with the mid to lower trims. This started life as an LT. You can also get a custom Trail Boss as well. And you can tell the difference by the nose is a little different. The custom says Chevrolet, whereas this looks like just a pretty standard front end for the new Silverado. What does the Trail Boss get you? Well, you get a 2-inch lift over the standard truck, you get Rancho monotube shocks, you get a rear locker, you get a real 2-speed transfer case. This is only available in 4-wheel drive, and you get skid plates because if you're gonna go off-road, you might as well have a little bit of protection. The one area where I'm a bit let down is the engine choice. If you get the custom, you can actually stuff a 4.3 liter V6 in these, which is an engine that's going away. They should offer the turbo. But the only other engine choice, and the only engine choice available on the LT version, is the 5.3 liter V8. You cannot spec this with a 6.2. That means you're stuck with 355 horsepower instead of 420 horsepower. And you can feel it out on the road. It's not as lively and engaging and throttle happy as 6.2 liter Silverados. That is a great engine. That 420 horse motor is a blast. 355 sounds good, but now you're adding chunkier tires and just a heftier running gear. And these are good tires. Those are good looking tires. They're chunky Goodyears on the side of this thing. They're good looking tires. They set the stance off nicely. This Trail Boss is one of the better looking of the new 2019 Silverados. It really works well with 18-inch wheels. You can spec 20s on this, but don't put 20s on this. Do you want to actually go off-road? Get sidewall, get proper tires, do this right. Use the 18-inch wheels. So this 5.3 liter is backed up by a nice column shifter. You know I love a column shifter, and it's the 8-speed automatic, and it works fine here. I have no qualms about it in this truck. The suspension feels nice and comfortable. This is not a Raptor fighter, you know that. I don't have to tell you that. This is a great truck to compare against the Ram Rebel. I will tell you this though, the interior of the new Rams is nicer. The interior of the new Rams is really good. It's quieter. There's a bit more room in the back, though there is plenty of room in this crew cab truck. That back seat, plenty of room. All of the modern trucks are a little bit longer, so there's good room back there. The Ford, the Ram, and this Silverado, it's no exception. The Ram just feels a little bit nicer inside. And when you're paying as much as you are for a truck like this, that's something you would expect. The base price of a Trail Boss is something like $43,000. This one, as tested, is just under $57,000. And remember, we started with a slightly lower spec truck, so we don't have a higher spec interior to work with. It still has the very good vertical center stack here, but then all the plastics look like lower trim plastic. The seats are comfortable, but there's no high grade material on them. The steering wheel is fine, but there's nothing wrapped nicely around it. The stereo system is upgraded in this one. It's a Bose system, so it's not gonna, blow you away. It's fine. And that's where the Trail Boss starts to fall apart a little bit. It's not quite as great as it should be for the price. So I like the way this truck looks. I'm really bummed you can't spec it with the 6.2. It has great chops for your casual off-roader with the upgraded shocks, a little bit of a lift, the 2-speed transfer case, all that fun stuff. $57,000 though. There needs to be a bit more. You have to pay extra for the side steps. You have to pay extra if you want. You can get this with rear roll bars in the bed. You have to pay extra for a few things that if they're giving you this truck and you're paying as much as you are for it, that shit should come. Just throw it in. Give us an upgraded sound system as part of the deal. Just find a few more things to throw at us to make the $57,000 feel more so worth your money. Or give us the 6.2. And there's another problem. If you were able to spec this with a 6.2, you would be paying over $60,000 at that point. So, God, I know trucks are expensive. And I don't think this one needs to be this expensive. We're dealing with the LT and custom trims. It's the lower end of the trim family, a few steps above fleet at entry level. And yes, you're getting some cool stuff, but you're not getting revolutionary stuff. You're not getting mind-blowing stuff. You can have fun out on the trails, but you're not going to go destroy them. And that's not the intention of this truck. But at $57,000, I don't know, man. I'm struggling there. I am struggling there. It does look good. I have to come back to that. The blue paint with the black trim, devoid of chrome. I like the way this looks. It looks chunky and tough, like you want an off-road truck to look, and I like that a lot. Oh, we have some mud here. That's unexpected. It has been raining though. One-handed drift out the mud puddle. It feels good on road. It's nice and quiet inside. Every modern truck is just, the NVH levels are fantastic. All of that stuff works well in the truck's favor. Sticking points. You come back to sticking points. That's how you filter out which truck you should buy. This isn't me being a slightly bit biased towards liking Ford a bit more. This is just a very practical look at it. The interior of the Ram is nicer. I mean, well, that doesn't make sense because I like Ford more. So what I was going to get to say is you have to balance this against the Ford FX4. The Ford FX4 is going to be expensive too. Maybe the interior of the Ford is slightly nicer, So it's tough to say. I like the way this looks. You're not going to sell me on looks alone because every truck is so good these days. You can get some decent noise out of the 5.3. I don't know. I feel like this is a 75% strong effort, if that makes sense. Something has to give. Either just, throw the 6.2 at this and keep it under 60, or upgrade the suspension to like TRD Pro spec, what Toyota's offering on their trucks, even though those trucks have gotten pretty expensive. Offer something like that and keep it with the 5.3. There needs to be a better balance of stuff thrown at it. The rest of the truck is fine. Like I said, comfortable, looks good, drives well. You're not going to forget, though, that you're in a lower grade truck. And if you're going to take this and actually get it dirty, maybe you want the lower grade interior. I'll concede that argument to you. I will let you have that you don't want to mess up a nicer interior. But you just spend $57,000 on something that you're going to go fling in the mud. That's cool. Have fun. I would do the same thing as you, and I wouldn't care as much. Just spring for the all-weather floor mats and call it a day. And then if you can afford to buy a $57,000 truck and go have fun with it, you can afford to occasionally get it detailed and cleaned and washed professionally. So again, that's not a big deal. I get the argument, though. So do I like the truck? Yes, I like the truck a lot. I like that Chevy's actually offering some great color choices too. If you want to be bold, look up Oakwood Metallic. Some of you will go, nah, that's not for me, dude. I get it. It's kind of like a rose gold color, and it's actually pretty badass. I could imagine a unique build with some really different colored wheels on it. You could have a standout truck then if you did it right. You could easily mess it up and you go with the truck that's kind of just, it doesn't work for me. But if you really work with it, I think you could do some cool things with Oakwood Metallic. I really like this dark blue. There's some other great colors out there. It doesn't just have to be black, silver, or red, just the standard gamut of truck colors. So as it sits, I like the TRAILBOSS. I think the name is cool. I think the styling is great. I really wish there were more engine options here, and the price, even though all trucks are expensive, I'm not seeing it. Is it a good option? Yes. Are there better options? Maybe. Another day, another new Silverado trim, at least for us.